Hi there, and welcome to the SimLab. This little journey will take us through how to start up Stan and get him ready for work in the morning or whenever you have a class. As you can see here, the first thing you'll see when you walk in the door of the newer SimLab is a bunch of tanks. And one is nitrogen, and the second one is CO2. We have 2 tanks of oxygen because we use so much of it. So whichever one is labeled in use is the one you should use. You turn it on, and you also have to make sure that the shut-off valve is turned on. Please don't be afraid to change the tanks if they run empty. I would really, really appreciate it. So after those tanks are on, after all the gases are on, we wander over here, and here's Stan, our $250,000 mannequin here. This rack is essentially his lungs. So this rocker switch at the bottom turns it on. Then we walk into the control room. So this computer, which I've already started up, sorry, it's running iMovie right now, generally will look like this when you first start it up. You'll see there's some icons at the bottom, and we have to open a couple of programs here. We have to open up HPS Launcher, and we have to open up Waveform Display. So you can see now that HPS Launcher has opened up this little box for us. And if we click on Open here, we get a list of patients. And we typically start out with Standard Man. So Standard Man is sort of a normal, physiologically healthy patient. So it'll take a couple of minutes, a couple of seconds for the program to pop up in earnest. And so this is Standard Man. Many of his vital signs are here. You can see there's a green box with his respirations and a purple one up here for his SATs and pulse and all sorts of things. So at this point the software is running, and the rack should hopefully have warmed up enough that when we click on connections, this connection box here, we'll see, and there's sort of the mannequin available for us to click on. So you can double click on this to start it, or you can click on it and click connect, and that connects the software to the mannequin. So at this point, what often happens, we'll see if it does today, when the mannequin first connects, especially if he's been off for a long period of time or if the gases have just come on, his respirations actually usually start out at 0. That's not happening right now because he's been on earlier today. Anyway, don't worry about that. Very often his resps start at 0 and he's not blinking for the first minute or two. What you'll see, again in these boxes, you'll see what happens early on is his PaO2 is actually quite high, and eventually it will drift down. Now it has happened now, so his resps have gone to 0, and his PaO2 has to drift down a little bit, and often his CO2 has to elevate a little bit before he sort of has an impetus to begin breathing again. And you can see now that he's breathing at 13 a minute, so he's ready to go. And that's how you start up Stan.